Election Day is just under 40 days away, but it appears many voters in Illinois have already made up their minds. Early voting started in the northern suburbs last week, with polls opening to long lines, hundreds of voters ready to cast their ballots. The Illinois State Board of Elections sent out the first wave of 1.82 million mail-in ballots on Thursday. The board says the number of mail-in applications grows by more than 25,000 every single day. In-person voting starts on October 1st in Chicago, October 7th in the rest of Cook County. Congressman Mike Quigley is a Democrat representing Illinois' 5th District, serves on the House Intelligence Committee, joining me this morning via Zoom. Congressman, good to see you as always. Let me just briefly get a response from you on the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett. Democrats can't do a thing about it.
Well, look, your earlier guest talked about the Constitution, and I'm a big fan, but I think what we're seeing here is more of an attack on the norms of our democracy. They talked about nothing in the Constitution precluding the nomination going forward. But during a presidential election year, after July, the Senate has never approved a nomination, ever. So clearly it's on our minds. It's been since 1940 that they approved one at all during a presidential election year. So clearly what Mitch McConnell and the Republicans said 4 years ago was on the minds of the Senate for the history of our republic. They're protecting the will of the American people. Yeah. And obviously the American people don't want them to do this.
Yeah, but obviously, of course, it's going to proceed. Let me talk about election security with you. I'm wondering whether you think the president's attacks on mail-in balloting are working, because look at the incredibly long lines happening even in your districts and in the suburbs. Do people not trust mail-in voting?
I think they're concerned about how the post office is going to handle mail-in voting with these kind of numbers. And his attacks on the Postal Service, his appointment of the Postmaster General, and really the fact that, they're halting the process of getting this thing done through the mail raises a lot of concerns. But the unprecedented requests for mail by vote, shows folks are very concerned about two things: making sure their vote counts and protecting their own health. With early voting and mail voting, I think Election Day will probably have the fewest number of voters in Illinois history on a presidential race.
The president said this week that he'll commit to a peaceful transfer of power only if the election is fair. It suggests that we might get a lot of challenges, certainly about the mail-in voting piece of all of this. What concerns do you have about the president's position on the peaceful transfer of power, and what can Congress do about it?
Well, first, the fact that it's inciting his followers to civil disobedience and perhaps violence. This is the statement of an autocrat saying he won't peacefully transfer power. Even during the Nixon administration, when the president of the United States stepped down, we were very proud to talk about that peaceful transfer of power. What message are we sending the American people that he's willing to do this? It is only small hope here that we're starting to hear some Senate Republicans send out messages that they disagree with the President of the United States. Small solace, because obviously they haven't kept their commitments and promise toward this end in my time in Congress.
Let me talk about COVID-19 with you for a minute, because, of course, as you know, the House months ago passed a care package, so to speak, and it went nowhere in the Senate. The House taking up a more moderate package now, wanting $3 trillion, but putting it at about 2.1, I think, where things are. So the president says Democrats are the ones blocking assistance to people.
Yeah, we passed this 4 months ago. Mitch McConnell is racing through a nomination, virtually stealing a Supreme Court seat, and they can get this done when it comes to a power grab. They can get something done as important as that, but they have spent 4 months sitting in the Republican-controlled Senate getting absolutely nothing done. It wasn't until 3 weeks ago that Mr. McConnell starting to put a package together. In the meantime, Speaker Pelosi said we'd be willing to meet in the middle. Their HEALS package, which they couldn't pass out of their own caucus, had about $1 trillion. We were a little over 3. Meeting in the middle means 2. We're going back this week. Mr. McConnell, do that. In the midst of all this discussion about the Supreme Court nominee, we still hear every day of small businesses faltering, of large businesses failing. right? 35,000 airline employees will be laid off.
Well, Congressman, let me take it home for you very quickly before we take a break, which is Southport Lanes. That's in your district. They've been in business almost 100 years. They're shuttered now as a result. What are you saying to constituents and businesses in the district who are dealing with this?
It is so hard to do because, what we're trying to do on a case-by-case basis is help those small businesses navigate through the small business program, the PPP, and any other means we can to help them. But clearly, our vote has been taken. We've got something done that would help them. Another round of PPP, more stimulus checks, continuing unemployment benefits, and actual care, additional care for those suffering from COVID. So it's difficult. All we can do at this point in time is use support and pressure from the American people to get the Senate to do the right thing.
All right, Congressman, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, but I'm going to finish my conversation. Lots more to talk about with Congressman Mike Quigley when we come back. Stay with us.